Today, we're going to be doing a vase arrangement with tulips. There we have it, a vase arrangement with tulips. Now, actually, subscribe and like below and stay tuned, and we will do a proper vase arrangement with tulips. And we're ready to start with our tulip arrangement. First thing I tell my students is to get everything prepared and laid out as far as your greenery, your flowers, get them all ready so that all you have to do is design. First thing you'll want to do, and all this greenery and vines and everything, I took this out of my front yard because I love working with stuff that I already grow, and then I also go and visit local farmers in the area, and I'll put a link down below to some of the local farmers near me that I like to visit that I know have really great quality flowers. But this is, damn, I forgot what this is. It's not that I forgot. My mind is just leaving me. Lavender. So I'm going to take the extra shoots off the bottom. You want to take the extra shoots off of the bottom and keep it cleaned, because once it's submerged in the water, the less greenery that you have on it keeps the water cleaner. And once your water gets cloudy, it's not fresh, and your flower's not able to suck up clean, fresh water. So you'll definitely want to replace your water every few days to keep it clean. You know, nobody likes to drink dirty water. I don't. So that's my first one. The same, this is greenery off of my gardenia bush out there. So I'm also measuring up to see how tall I want my greenery to be. And we'll get to that in just a few minutes. And then I always save all my greenery too. When we were doing, getting our North Carolina Certified Professional NCCPF, our North Carolina Certified Professional Florist certification, one of the classes that we had to do, we had to go out and do designs from any and everything we could find outside. It could be dead, and we had to sweep it off the floor. And that was really fun because we had to really get creative in our design that we were going to do. And that was part of our certification process. So anyway, I'm going to clip these at an angle. And if I had my knife, I would just shear it off at an angle. The reason for shearing it at an angle, well, first let me just say, again, I know I've talked about it in previous videos. When you're clipping, you want to have a clean clip. And clipping with, your clippers, it bruises the cells, which cause the stem to not be able to suck up as efficiently as just shearing it off with a knife. And of course, the optimal way to clip your any floral is hydroponically, which I don't have access to hydroponic here in my little studio room, so we are just going to use our clippers and go from there. So we're going to keep moving along with stripping our greenery off, and then what I like to do is start making a grid down in the bottom of the vase with my stems, so that that grid is going to be what holds my actual flower stems in place. But again, I want to clip off all the excess greenery that would be below the water line. And some of these are a little too short, but I can still use them in my grid work. And again, when I'm teaching this to my classes at school, tell my students you can either do it two ways. You can do it where you put your greenery in first and then your floral, or you can put your floral in first and then your greenery. I prefer to put my greenery in first and create that grid so that all my stems, when I get to my floral, is interlocked into those stems. And then if I'm putting my flowers in and I see that my flowers are not in the exact place I want them to be and they're a little loose and shifting around, then I go back in and I add more greenery. So, and you don't have to necessarily take off all the greenery on your stems. I usually take off any greenery that's, bruised or, broken like that. And I do that just because you want your prettiest greenery on the arrangement. And I'm going to give that a little snip. You can definitely save the additional greenery and do other designs to go in it for texture, and which I will show you a couple of different techniques with that. And next you just want to go in and start putting your stems in within the grid, but at the same time you want all your blooms to be at the same height. And there I've got my blooms in there. And so from here, the tulips are going to be my focal flower. And then I want to go back in and put a content flower, which is a little bit smaller head. And then from there, your filler flower. I am choosing my little lavender plant to go in. So it's going to be a lot of different greenery within this arrangement. You don't necessarily have to have a specific filler flower. You can do filler with different greenery, different textures, vines, branches, all different types of textures that can go into the arrangement to give it more character. So I'm just going to speed up with putting my other items in my arrangement. Something to also think about. So I went and I plucked these out of my garden out front, my lavender plant. And when I plucked it, the little bloom was already completely standing up. And now I've gotten it inside and it's been, just a few minutes. And look at that, it's already curling over. So, I mean, you can always use the natural curl of a plant or a flower or a bloom to go into your arrangement, but since I'm doing more of a just a simple vase arrangement, I really don't want that curl. So I'm just going to go in and pluck it off because I still want this great texture. You want to peel off the stems on the end, but I really like, it gives it smell, it gives it texture, and I really like that. So I still want to have that in my arrangement. So I know when I'm teaching my students, I say, put your content flower in, your focal flower, your filler flower. Well, you don't necessarily have to have all of those in your arrangement. Oh, I'm missing my scissors. My clippers. Well, just a minute. Found them. They were on the floor. So I'm still going to give a little clip, put this in my arrangement. So in this arrangement, I found this great branch that I really want to incorporate into my arrangement here. And since it's, not green anymore or not live. It's very brittle. I'm just gonna break it and just shoot it on into my arrangement here. So when you're adding branches or lily grass, anything like that, you're actually making your arrangement larger than the actual arrangement. You're giving it height. No, it's not showing a lot of height because it's I'm not putting a lot in there, but you'll see. It gives it more height, more definition when you add different items like branches and vines and lily grass, because it makes it sprawling out when the actual arrangement is more compact and focal down towards the center. So it kind of gives the illusion of being bigger than it actually is. So let me, I have great ivy all over my yard. So I wanted to put some of this in the arrangement also. So instead of putting, different, a lot of different blooms in here, I'm just doing a lot of different greenery in my arrangement. Now the bottom of it is actually where the root is, so I want to make sure that is down in the water. And then the rest of it, I want it to kind of trail up this vine here. Well, that didn't work. That just broke. All right, well, so we're gonna go a different angle. Since my twig didn't work, I still got 2 twigs in there. So, and sometimes when you're designing, things like that happen and you've got to readjust so that you can make it work. And I always give my classes really cool floral facts. Really cool floral fact about tulips is they like to travel with the sun. If the sun's over here and your bloom's over here, they're going to turn their heads to face this way because, who doesn't like to have sun in their face? So I'm adding some fresh greenery in. This is a little not like what I'm liking here, so I'm gonna just tuck it in. So we have that, and now let me turn you back down. So I have these great leaves, and I feel like I still need something in my arrangement, so I'm just going to roll them up. Promise it's not the coronavirus. It is allergies. Yes, I'm a florist with allergies. I'm allergic to flowers. One of the reasons I kind of stepped away from my floral shop, so to speak, my floral business, is because of my allergies. And from there, I went into teaching it and educating. So what I'm doing is I am just rolling these leaves up, and I'm just taking, you know, different twigs that I had picked up outside, and I'm using those as my actual picks. And what I'm doing is I am picking the little tube that I've made with the tulip leaf. And then I am just pushing it right on down in there. Well, sorry, I've got to turn it towards me so I can see it. If it's not the allergies that kills me, it's these hot flashes. 50 and fabulous though. Now I can see. And here we have our garden arrangement. Sorry, I had to take off that shirt. Having one of those special summer moments, personal summers. Here we have our beautiful vase arrangement. Everything from outside. Tulips, ivy, lavender, gardenia bush, greenery, and then twigs to give it some height and some more character. And then I just rolled up the leaves of the tulips that I took off. It just gives it more character. Then I also always fill my vase up to right at the neck, because who doesn't like a nice cool drink of water? We do, and the plants do too. Like and subscribe below, share it with your friends, and if you have any ideas of anything you would like to see designed, shoot me a message, and I will definitely put it up on one of my next videos. Until next time, sparkle on!